Hi, it's Di from My Enchanted Journals, and we're going to do some rust dyeing today. I'm just going to get my papers that I've chosen. This is just a bag, and I'm just going to put them in the coffee and see how it turns out. Now this water's hot, so yeah, be careful I don't burn myself. I'm just going to lay them over here. This was like a collage sheet that I've done before, so I thought I would reuse it because it's quite interesting. Just roughly cut out, or ripped out rather. So a lot of it will get covered over anyway. This is an old letter. Yeah, came out really well. And then this one's got like a floral pattern on it, but I quite like it. So I was going to see what it came out like when it was done through the coffee. It's just got an illustration on the back. It's more sort of this side that I like, I think. I like to make a page like that. It's just quite cute. Alright, let's lay those down. And I'm just going to grab some salt and put some of that on the pages and see how it comes out. Okay, I'm back. And let's try and put some salt on. Changes the colouring of it again. So we'll have a little practice with a couple of these. There, you can see it oxidising. Can you see that? Look, it's changing the colours around. Very interesting. Right, let's try some more. So I had to lay them all on the floor, and this is what I ended up with. Sorry that it's in a shadow, but okay, so they're all going to dry overnight. But there we are, that's all the fabric hinges are all done as well, coffee dyed. That's the first round. So it actually took 2 days for these papers to dry. It's winter here in Australia, I'm guessing that's probably the reason. They turned out really good, and where I've added the salt, it's sort of mottled. Can you see that? I'm liking the colours. This one where the salt's been, it's made it whiter and raised it up. So that'll be like a really interesting page and collage on it and stuff as well. And this is the old book. It's kind of fallen apart, so I'll have to fix that up and put tape in the pages to reinforce them. But they came out alright. That looks really good. Interesting pages. This is the Amazon packaging. It hasn't really coloured it much, but it's given it more texture. There's this one with the old letter. So it's kind of curled up nicely on the back, so that will make a nice, interesting sort of page when I do that. With the curl on it and stuff, so that's good. This was the other page out of the book. It's come out sort of a different colour, so that's quite nice. More Amazon packaging. And this is just another page of, it's not cardstock, but it's thicker than normal paper. And it hasn't really coloured that at all. Hasn't made any difference to it. Just looks exactly the same. So yeah, so some turned out really good, others not. So now we're going to do the rusting. I've just put the nails here through the paper just to try something different. Now I've made a rookie mistake here. These sit too high up off the page, so the actual only oxidisation is only going to be where it touches the page here. This one might be okay with a few nails. I haven't got a lot of rusty stuff, so we're just going to give it a go with what I've got and see how it turns out. But this one looks really interesting, this one here. So let's just have a look. Wet the paper first and put the stuff down if we can get to it. Poor paper's already been soaked once, now it's getting soaked again. And I should have thought about those nails not, or those screws not touching the paper. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's just see how we go. Whew, smell of vinegar is pretty strong, even though it's only 50-50, right. Alright, it's been a wee while, a few hours in fact, and you can see the results haven't been brilliant. There's a little bit of rust showing there. On these bits it's definitely rusted up in the holes, so that's okay. Here, a little bit of rusting there, so that turned out alright. This didn't rust up very much, I don't know why, but yeah, it's got a little bit. Interesting colours. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, I moved this around a little bit. You can see there, that's actually quite good. It needs to dry. I'm going to put another piece of paper down here. Move the rusted nails. So yeah, mixed results, I guess. Put that onto there. But still really interesting. Look at those colours. So yeah, happy about that. And then let's have a look at this one. Move that out of the way a bit. That's the rusty. Oh yeah, that's left a few marks on there. You see that? That's from the spring there, and then the nails there. So yeah, I'm just going to keep going with it, and I'll show you the results at the end. You can see I've put some more on here now. Let's see if they start to turn, and I've tried to just roll up the paper so that these bolts are just in the wet there, and then I've done another page with nails, and I've rolled up the spring inside here. So we'll see how they turn out in a little while. And just piled a whole load of nails on here. Wet it with some more water. I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. And this is my cloth that I got coffee dyed. This is how it all came out. So it's still pretty light, but I like the antique-y kind of look to it. So now I'm just adding some, I've added some stencil with this and some other stamping, and I'm quite liking how that's come out. And then even the background sheet is got, and I love these little bits here. They're quite cute and really interesting. So they're going to make nice little bits from pages. So I'm just going to stamp some more here. Not thinking too much about the process. Just want to add some interest to the pieces, so that makes it a lot more sort of antique-y looking. Okay, now I'm going to rustify some of these pieces that I've already stamped and dyed with the coffee. So I'm going to wrap them all up together and see how they turn out. So I don't have a lot of rusty stuff, as I said before, so I'm just going to put in what I have like this, and I'm going to roll it all up. These rusty nails. Now I did have some of those bottle tops somewhere, but I don't know what I've done with them. So this is just all going to be rolled up and let it to dry overnight. we're just going to roll it up tightly, like that. And we're going to get some string, and we're going to tie it up. And we're going to see how that turns out. I'm just going to leave it to dry naturally overnight. I'm going to come back in the morning and see how that's turned out. I've soaked it with the vinegar and water. Bit of nail sticking out there. I'm going to put it to one side and see how that goes. I'll put those to one side and we'll wait for them to dry, and I'll show you those in the morning. Okay, let's have a look at these ones that we wrapped up yesterday, see how they came out. Oh yeah, that's come out really good, look at that. So it seems to be, it needs to be tightly wrapped around. So I'll run you through these other ones in a minute. Let's undo this one. I will say, it's still winter here in Australia and these are still not 100% dry, but they are drier than they were, so we'll see how they've worked out. And there's a few in here, so yeah, these have worked out really well. So this one I put through the fabric. Can you see that? That's come out really well. And just it leaning against, that's come out really well. Yeah, these have turned out really good. So wrapping them up is the key. This is the one that I slow stitched as well. So that's turned out really well. So you need to do that, just wrap them up really tight. Looks good, doesn't it? It's going to look really good. Have to let them dry out totally now because they're still a little bit damp. Really good. Okay, let's undo this one. My fingers are filthy, by the way. Don't even look. I can't get them clean. They've got coffee and rust and goodness knows what stuck all over them. Okay, let's have a look at this one. I was interested for these ones because they've got the bit of lace on the end and I want to use them. Yeah, look at that. That's turned out great. Look. Awesome. The big bolt in the middle. It seems to be where the rusty things are making more contact with the fabric is giving a better result. But they look great. Yeah, really happy with that. Oh yeah, the bolt here has got more on it. Can you see there? So that's come out really, really well. Yeah, I really like those. Great. And lucky last, the imprint of the nails. Yeah, it's come out really well. So they've turned out really well. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm ready to start constructing. Look at this one. This one's cool. Really cool. A couple of little ones. And sometimes on the back they've coloured up. And lucky last, this one. So how did I use the rusty pieces? Well, you can see I've used a piece right there on the cover and I left the nails intact. Can you see that? Turned out really well. And then I used a piece here as a tag, which you can lift up. There's another piece there that's like a tag that comes up. Here I used another piece where I've sewn it on. And here I've used this as a tuck spot. See a pocket that goes across. And you can see how beautiful some of the pieces have turned out. Look at that, that's awesome. Really, really nice. And this has got the imprint there of the spring. Remember the spring? So that turned out really well. And you can see here how I've reinforced the pages with masking tape. That's the other side of the pocket there. So it goes right the way across. So it's turned out really, really well. And look how cute that looks. So it's like a pocket. There, you can see there. The other side of the pocket again. That's another little piece in there. Like, and you can see the colouring here again on the page from the rusting. And here, this is a little tuck spot or a belly band. They've just come out so, so well, look. Just beautiful. That was the interesting page that I put the nails through, and that's turned out really quite nice. And this is the, remember the page with the letter? Didn't turn out that much different. And then here, another pocket, just turned out really lovely. Really love how that turned out. So yeah, the pages have turned out really, really well. And then that's reinforced again, but you can see the oxidization there from that big round circle one. You can see the imprint there. And that's the oxidization there. The old pages, you can see it's turned out really, really good. And then I've still got these pieces left here, which I'm going to use for the hinges on the journal. So yeah, you really must try it because I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. Okay, thanks for watching.